March 19th, and it is a big day. So for the last few months since November, I have been in anorexia and hypothalamic amenorrhea recovery. And it has been a long road, and it has been a rough road, but it has been a beautifully broken time between me and God, and between me and my husband, and between me and my friends, and me and myself. So I have been documenting it since November, although I've been dealing with anorexia and hypothalamic amenorrhea since probably around, let's say, March, April last year. And it spiraled out of control in June and July and just went downhill from there. And then in November is when I really came to terms with myself and realized that I needed to start recovering. So, with that being said, today is a big day because I am moving all my videos over from WordPress and moving it over to YouTube. Why am I doing this? Well, I have been on WordPress now since November, and I mostly put it on there because I didn't want anybody to see it. I know it sounds weird. Why would you put it on the internet if you don't want anyone to see it? Well, let me tell you. Because I felt like that if I put it on WordPress, less people would see it. But if I put it on YouTube, anybody can just type in anorexia recovery, hypothalamic amenorrhea recovery, and then if I pop up, there I am. And I was still ashamed of myself. I'm not gonna lie. I was still at a point where I didn't want anybody to know. So I put it on WordPress so that personally I could look back at my post and see, this is where you were, this is how far God has brought you. So God gave me the title, Finding My Proverbs 31 Woman. Why Proverbs 31? Well, Proverbs 31 is a book about what a Christian woman should look like. It talks about how she's more precious than rubies. It talks about that she laughs without fear of the future. It talks about her being revered by everyone around her and loved, and her children listen, and her husband adores her, and the community looks up to her, and all of these things that a perfect Christian woman should do. Is a perfect Christian woman actually going to happen? No. Just so we all can know that. The only person that's ever been perfect is Jesus. But I feel like God laid out this book of the Bible so that we could see how we should try to shape our lives into. We will never be perfect. We will never have the perfect body. We will never have the perfect mind. We will never have the perfect things to say or the perfect things that we do 24/7. That's just not realistic. We are humans. We have a soul, we have a mind, and we have a body. And our soul, between the one where if you become saved, your soul is perfect. But your mind and your body, where your soul is living, is not perfect. That's why you have to renew your mind every single day. So, with that being said, I wanted to base my life off of Proverbs 31, and that has always been my thought process. When anorexia happened, when I got into this mindset, when I had the downfall of anorexia, I still wanted to be the Proverbs 31 woman. I know that sounds crazy. So how were you trying to be a Proverbs 31 woman if you became anorexic? Well, I thought I was doing the right things at first. I thought like running and working out and eating healthy were all the right things to do. They were. But I became nutritionally, I don't want to say starving, but that's what it basically was. I had all this food around me. We are not poor. We are able to buy our own food and do all that. But I treated my body as if there was no food. And I kind of combated that with a word, and I tried to act like I was doing the right things and I was saying the right things, but inside I had this battle that was just, it was like a war raging on. And so I'll get into my actual story later, but I just wanted my first YouTube video to be able to explain a little bit of where I'm at now. So we are in March, and I started my recovery in November, so it has been about 5-ish months, I would say, a little bit more. And I have gained weight. I have recovered a lot. Am I completely recovered? I wouldn't say that yet, but I'm working towards that. I've really held to the verse, Jeremiah 29:11, for I know the plans I have for you, says the Lord, plans to prosper you, plans not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future. And that word hope is something that I've really clung to. Hope. What does that mean? Hope just means to be able to know and to trust that it's going to work out. Hope and to trust that I'm going to recover. Hope and trust that I will have kids someday. Hope and trust that I will be able to be around food and be happy. So that's really where I'm at right now. So I'm going to move all my videos over from WordPress over to YouTube. And in that transition, it's not going to all be perfect. Oh, there's my puppy. It's not going to all be perfect. It might not even be in order. I just want everything to be moved over so that I can have all my my whole entire process in one area. So, I also wanted to talk about a couple positives that I learned throughout this time. A big thing I've learned is that turn the negatives into the positives. Move over. He's being weird. Turn the negatives into the positives. That's a huge thing that I've used throughout this recovery. I've dove into my word. The word is living, guys. Like it's real. It's every single day. Babe, stop. Every single day, it's still alive. I know it's so weird because it's a book, but it is. All of his word is true. His, he even says from Genesis 1:1, the word is God, and something about, he is the word and the word is God. So, the book of the Bible is there to give us instruction, and it's living, and it's every day now. So that is two huge things that I've been focusing on. Focus on the positives, dive into your word, and to really rely on everyone around you, because a lot of times people that are anorexic try to do everything on their own. A big stigma of anorexia is that you're a perfectionist, and a lot of time that's true, because you get to a point where you're almost OCD about, oh, you can only eat this much, and you can only work out this much, or you can only have this many people around because you don't want people to notice, and there's just lots of rules that come with it. So make sure you surround yourself and let them all know the struggle that you're going through. Number 4, a huge thing that I've learned is with going with people around you is let the animals, let you find an animal that can help you with recovery. So on October 29th, I went out and adopted this little puppy. He is a big distraction right now, but I went out and adopted him for me and my husband because we got told that we can't have kids. But with having our puppy right now, it's done some healing on us, and it's been able for us to focus on him and be able to really just love on him, and he does not expect anything of us except for us to love him. So that's been really healing for me. We gave him he's an emotional support dog, and he's been more than that name for me, especially because I wasn't a huge animal person before. Like, I liked animals, but I wasn't ever thinking it was for me to own an animal. But now that I have him, it's like he's been such a huge healer in my life. God really just gave us the perfect dog for me to be able to do that. So 4 things for me to leave with you if you're in any kind of recovery, whether it's anorexia, addiction, any of those things, is 1, to focus on the positives instead of the negatives. 2, to really just dive into your word. That should really be number 1, but you know, those kind of go hand in hand. Dive into your word. 3, lean on the people around you. Let them know what you're going through, and they want to help. They really do. And 4, get yourself like an animal or some kind of support dog, whether it's even a horse. Maybe you live on property and want to own a horse or a cat or a hamster or anything that you want to own. We chose a dog because that's what we wanted, but get yourself an emotional support animal so that you can really just be loved on at all times. So I can't wait to just explore this journey on YouTube and really see where it takes me and how I'm able to recover even more. I'm not doing this so that I can get tons of followers. Like, I don't care if you subscribe or not. But I want to be able to have this for myself. And maybe if I reach one other person than myself, to be able to see that there is a light at the end of the tunnel, that they could do that. So, sorry, there's a garbage truck outside. So, I just want to say thank you for watching. If you're still watching, that's awesome. And just focus on those 4 things. And God's got you, man. Cling to Jeremiah 29:11. And if you're a girl, Proverbs 31.